All right, this will be the People News one more time. Okay, this is where the storm clouds are gathering. Derek. Okay, he's one of them blunt guys, direct guys, and he'll get in your face type of guys. He'll fight to the death and fight you to the death in court too as well. Okay, have not seen him in court, so that's just my hearsay. All right, I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice, so anything I say or do is educational purposes only. Do your own research. Okay, even though I'm not in contract with the bar, it's just one of them things, right? They like to violate. Um, this is going to be different, and this is how they get jurisdiction from where the storm clouds are gathering. But it ties into the next two videos going to be coming up to the way you guys see it. All right, so this is going to be part one. Okay, but you got to see this, watch the other two videos after this, and see what they are doing, right? Clearly. Okay, whether you're a practicing law, of law, or in law, words matter. Period. Okay, they want you to be in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, the corporate body, the corporation. So they want you to be in the corporation part of Texas. Okay? So do not agree with that you're in Texas, but you're on the land of Texas. All right, not the state of Texas. You can just do that little punch, Republic of Texas, or whatever state you're in. But don't want to be in Texas. You want to be on the land of particular state. And don't say, you could just say Texas or California, but it's I'm on the hand to Texas Republic, or I'm a Texan. I'm not from Texas. I'm um, shit. I'm a Texan. Okay, I'm not from Texas. I'm a Texan. Words matter. All right, let's proceed forward because this is a long enough video as it is, and I um, stretched it out too far already. Let's proceed forward and remember, never, never, never look straight forward. Always look around you to be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Okay? I'm out of practice. It's been a while since I've done a couple videos.
People ask me, how does the lawyering craft get jurisdiction, Derek? I said, well, let me tell you, it's real simple. You see, in maritime admiralty courts, everything is about presumption and assumption. People have gotten a lot of confusion when I walk into a court and say there are no facts in dispute, and can't understand why I say that, because there are no facts in the court. It's all presumption and assumption. They're all rebuttable presumptions. It's all prima facie evidence of law, or prima facie evidence of some.
I'm going to pause right there just one more time for you guys. Everybody's gotten in the habit of saying Supreme Court rulings, court rulings, court rulings. It's not. It's opinions. They retrained us to believe the rulings. But why are they opinions? Presumptions. The ambiguous of the statutes that is hard to comprehend for the average people, right? We talked about persons in other videos, what the definition is. But when you talk to an average people, they don't know what it is. It's ambiguous, right? They don't understand in court what it actually means. It's not clearly established to us.
Happening, right? Nobody has first-hand knowledge of anything. So it's all by agreement. And it took me years and years to figure this out. It took my mentors beating it into me day in and day out before I finally started to see the light. Because, see, I'd been bitten by this bug called be-right-itis. I always wanted to be right about some shit. Let me tell you something. I just want them to tell me I'm wrong. It's not about being right. Tell me that I'm incorrect in my stance. Tell me that what I've stated isn't true, accurate, correct, and not misleading. Go ahead and say it. Because then the onus of probandi falls back on them, right? But if I'm making the statements, the onus of probandi falls upon me. You see, this is why it's so advantageous to ask questions instead of making fucking statements. Let me show you how they get jurisdiction. I'm gonna show it to you. So clear your mind for just a second. First of all pleadings before a court are supposed to be sworn to. If a lawyer created the pleadings, they're not sworn to. Period. Why? Because no lawyer can testify with firsthand knowledge to anything. And if they are testifying with firsthand knowledge to the facts, then they're not the lawyer, they're a fucking witness. See, we have to be cognizant of that fact. Secondly, they presume and assume to have jurisdiction because the lawyer says Derek Gonzalez resides in such and such county at such and such address, and nobody ever rebuts or rebukes that statement. And therefore, the court presumes and assumes that statement to be true, correct, accurate, not misleading. It's not that it is a fact, it's that it is a statement that has been made that hasn't been defeated by way of testimony in the form of an affidavit. So they get jurisdiction that way. What's the first thing they ask you in court? What's your name? Say your name for the record. Where's your residence at? Where do you live? So the first one is the name. Under the doctrine of idiom sonum, if it looks the same, it sounds the same, it's presumed and assumed to be the same. See, in maritime admiralty, they're just dealing with things in rem. Things being the key word, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Lord knows I only went to the School of Hard Knocks to gain this education. Okay? I'm speaking to you on my firsthand knowledge and experience of how things are, not how I wish them to be. It's what I've noticed through my candid observations being in court so many times I can't even count. Does being in court make me a bad man? No. No, it does not. I go there because I learn more in court than I could ever read in a fucking book. The facial expressions, the body language that I see exhibited by these cretins as they creepeth and crawl and try to skirt what is true, correct, and accurate, trying to keep their facade and maintain their image of being true, just, and fair. So the first thing I look at is pleadings. Are they sworn to? Is the case independently bonded, meaning whoever's bringing the claim on whatever fallacy they've decided to bring the claim on, if they cannot prove their case, where's the bond for which can be liquidated to ensure that I'm made whole? That's a quid pro quo, ladies and gentlemen. If I bring a claim against you for $1 million, I have to put $1 million up. Because if I can't prove my claim, the one that I brought claim against is entitled to whatever I was attempting to claim. That's why I want to see that bond. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I speak from first-hand knowledge and experience. I only seek to bring forward what is true, accurate, correct, and not misleading. Then I want to see the man or woman make the general appearance who's bringing the claim. For I have the right to face my accuser. I don't have a constitutional right, ladies and gentlemen. I have a right that is upheld and in writing that I have the right to face my accuser. The question becomes, why was it so incumbent upon the founding fathers to ensure that it was written down on paper? You see, because so often before King James, King George, the Queen Elizabeth, and all these other fucking dictators and oligarchs and things of that nature, people didn't have the right to face their accuser. So they felt it very, very important to write it down, that you have an unalienable right to face your fucking accuser. That way, no agent and agency can just falsify a record and bring a claim without being held accountable.
I'm going to pause there for a second again. All right. The Mr. and Mrs. Callahan County. Step forward. I want you to just take the stand. You're the claimant. Okay. Who's this Mr. and Mr. Callahan County? Who's this Mr. and Mrs. Abilene, Texas? Who's this Mr. and Mrs. Houston, Texas? Who's all these people that's making these claims? Questions.
You see, if I brought a claim against Mickey Mouse today, everybody would laugh and dismiss the claim. Why? Because Mickey Mouse is nothing more than a figment of man's imagination. Mickey Mouse can't do a fucking thing to me. I'm the attorney, in fact, on behalf of the principal and the executor, if I choose to be. I can fill the role of trustee. I can fill the role of beneficiary. There is a time and a place for those things. I don't slide at one position or the other because I see the relevant fact and the need for all of them, especially dealing with trust in REM. They're operating in a special star chambers. Look it up. Find out what it means. They're operating under military doctrine under the law of necessity. Look it up. Find out what it means. No plaintiff has made a general appearance sworn to independently bonding this case, and I believe none exist, making it a matter of law. Produce your claimant or shut the fuck up and sit down, Skipper. This is a fucking mutiny, and I'm about to take helm. I'm going to take over this ship and guide it to safe waters. I understand the difference between the jurisdictions, and I speak with conviction when I say it. I'm going to say it again. You should probably write it down. No plaintiff has made a general appearance sworn to independently bonding this claim, and I believe none exists. If they move on from that point, they knowingly, willingly, and intentionally are engaged in RICO under the color of law. They're depriving me of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is a First Amendment violation. Under the Fourth Amendment, compelling me to provide any information to them is against the law. What law? The law of the motherfucking land. You either know it or you do not. You either have rights or you do not. Can you stand up and sound off like you got a motherfucking pair? Time will surely show us and tell us whether you can or can't. In Trinsley versus Pagliaro, statements and arguments made in brief, although flattering to the court, do not grant rise to summary judgment or a motion to dismiss. Why? Because they're either attorneys or they're the witness. And if they're the witness or the claimant, they can bring whatever they want in support of their evidence and claims. But if they're the attorney, they can't submit anything into the court to be considered as evidence because attorneys have no firsthand knowledge of anything. Therefore, it's inadmissible evidence. We have that.
All right. Now, rewind that and re-listen and write that down for every case you are involved in. Except as exceptions of, maybe small claims courts and all that, because usually 9 times out of 10, it's man and man, woman and woman, woman, man, whatever on that in small claims, okay? Maybe family court, but family court, there's still got to be due process that they're violating there. That's the most corrupt. All right.
Evidentiary hearing to strike everything they have put on the record, to strike it from the record as inadmissible. Hearsay is what they operate on. Then there's a hearsay rule. You start to talk about hearsay, experts are allowed to use their hearsay, and hearsay is allowed by the courts predicated on the fact that somebody proclaims to be an expert. But here's the thing. Who put their credentials on the record for your inspection to even see whether or not these people are who they say they are? Huh? That's why I said standing's so important. Prove who the fuck you are. Produce your credentials on the record for my inspection.
Just that right there by itself should just give us so much knowledge, right? We keep our mouth shut. We don't eject. We don't ask questions. We always, in silence acquiescence and tacit agree. Oh, there's a witness. Okay. Huh. Great. Well, we got to sit there and listen to it? No. We never challenged it, right? Put your, Put your knowledge on the record.
A lot of people that get master's degrees off the internet ain't ever done a day of study. Not a day of study. They paid for a piece of paper that says they're qualified. When did you ask them to prove that they are qualified and to prove who the fuck they are? But in a lot of cases, I never asked for any of that stuff, and it was only in hindsight that I realized all these people were spewing putrid bullshit, and I never called them out on it. Won't make that mistake again. You say you're an officer of the law, produce your fucking credentials, motherfucker, for my review. Otherwise, I'm going to have to impeach you as a witness, because you're a known motherfucking liar by your own words. Everything you say can and will be held against you in the near future. I guarantee it. Where's your Title 4101 oath? Where's your Title 53331 oath? Where's your Title 28454 oath? Huh? You're an officer of the court? Produce your fucking oath. All right? Where's your oath to the state constitution? Where's your oath to the Constitution for the United States of America? There's 5 of them, ladies and gentlemen. Produce them or sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Freedom is about accountability, responsibility, and liability, and nothing else. And it is time you stand up, grab your set of fucking nuts, and sound off like you got a motherfucking pair. Contempt can only be issued against officers of the motherfucking court. I ain't part of your society. Good luck contempting me, motherfucker. If they don't have the claimant making a claim against you, all right, sworn to and independently bonded, the case can only be dismissed for want of prosecution and want of a fucking claimant or plaintiff. It's pretty fucking cut and dry, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't fucking rocket science. I don't want a trial by jury because the fucking half-wits that sit on a jury are dumber than a box of motherfucking rocks. I want a bench trial. You want to know why? Because I can hold that motherfucker sitting on a bench accountable because he's responsible for knowing the law. U.S. versus Tweed, when they have a duty to speak, silence can only be equated to fraud. That's right. I'm going to accept and acknowledge their fucking oath and bind them motherfuckers to it. You better produce your fucking bonds, your insurance. That's right. There have been so many people that have prevailed just following the words that I say, and I wish I could claim them as my own, but I can't. There were so many great men and women before me that have laid down the ground rules and the foundation for the things I speak of, and then most important above all else is what the Heavenly Father has put upon my heart, pressed upon me to say within these venues that have led me to my salvation and freedom, that have led me to be able to walk out of a courtroom when everybody else didn't think it was fucking possible. He said, believe in me, trust in me. I'll give you the words to say when you need to say them. Just believe in me. Don't turn on me. Stand with conviction. And I do. Right, wrong, or any different, there's only one judge in this entire universe. And someday I'll meet him, and I'm sure he'll have a few choice words for me. That's between me and him. Nobody else. Once told the judge, you're the judge, right? He said, yeah. I said, that's yet to be seen. We need to go fishing. I'm going to tie a 12-inch block to your ankle. I'm going to ask you to walk out there on that water. And he started laughing and said, I don't think I'll do that. Yeah, that's because you ain't no judge. You and I both know that. You're a liar and a hypocrite. Just got to call them out on their bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. No lawyer has standing to be in a fucking court. None of them. None of them. A lawyer can't even represent a corporation. You want to know why? They can't prove that they had an interest before the matter even arose. They have no first-hand knowledge of anything. They may or may not have been hired by a body politic such as a board of directors. But again, I need to see that warrant of attorney, that license grant deed. I want to see that letter of good standing and that contract you entered into to represent the board member and the committee for the corporation. Produce it or shut the fuck up and sit down. I also want to see the articles of incorporation, corporate charter, and bylaws. If you ain't got it, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Because you open your mouth again, and you become liable, carrying the primary active degree of fault for bringing a claim against me and my estate, for which you cannot have relief granted because you yourself don't have an interest. You don't have a dog in the motherfucking fight. Your ass belongs to me for slander, defamation, simulated legal process, sham legal pleadings that are unsworn to. You can ask any lawyer if I'm full of shit. I'll tell you right now, I've watched them piss down their fucking leg dealing with me in a court. I've never been to law school a day in my fucking life. And I don't start no shit, but I was raised never to back down. Ever. And I don't. And I will not compromise. I've had lawyers say, hey, just make a plea deal with us. Let's just come to an agreement. Let's make a deal. I don't make deals with the fucking devil or people that practice deviling. People that practice unjustly enriching themselves by falsifying claims onto a record. I don't make deals with satanic Luciferian pieces of shit. Because I stand for what's true, correct, accurate, not misleading. It's not in my blood. It's not in my bones. It ain't in my spirit. It ain't in my heart to negotiate with terrorists. I don't do it. I never have, and I never motherfucking will. Contempt? Really? Let me guess. Criminal. Well, show me the aggrieved injured party. And know this, Your Honor, if you're the one sitting on a bench making claim of contempt, you also can't be the judge, jury, and executioner of your own goddamn claim. That's right. And no, I ain't taking the Lord's name in vain. Listen. Oh, it's civil. Show me the contract that I knowingly, willingly, and intelligently entered into with full disclosure provided, not denying me due process of law. And under the plain language doctrine was so crystal clear that any man or woman walking this earth could understand it. Oh, that's right, you ain't got it? Well, there goes your fucking contempt. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Some of us were cut from a different fucking cloth. That's all I'm going to say. I got another class coming up to show you guys how to do this.